In his book Aion, Jung discusses several Gnostic texts emphasizing the imagery of the self. One such text is the Paradise Quaternio text. The text reads as such: The Gnostic assert that Edom or Eden is the brain. They suppose that man, as far as he is a head only, is paradise, and that a river which proceeds out of Edom, that is, from the brain, is divided into 4 heads, and that the name of the first river is called fission. This is the eye, which by its honor among the rest of the bodily organs furnishes testimony to what is spoken. The name of the second river is Gihon, which is hearing, and the name of the third river is Tigris, this is smelling. But the fourth river is Euphrates, which is the mouth, through which are the passages outward of prayer and the passages inwards of nourishment. The mouth nurtures and fashions the spiritual perfect man. This is the water that is above the firmament, concerning which the Saviour has declared, If thou knewest who it is that asked, thou wouldst have asked from him, and he would have given you to drink living bubbling water. Into this water, he says, every nature enters, choosing its own substance, and its peculiar quality comes to each nature from this water, more than iron does to the magnet. The figure is a representation of the text. It shows the brain, which has at its center the source of the 4 rivers. They divide, and one river comes out of the eye, another out of the ear, another out of the nose, and the fourth river out of the mouth. This is a kind of active imagination image with the skull or the brain, the round thing in man. As Jung tells us, the first 3 rivers are similar, but the fourth, the Euphrates, the mouth, is of a special nature because things move both ways in the mouth. Food goes in and prayer comes out. The fourth one is special, corresponding to the psychological fact that the fourth function brings totality with it, and therefore is of a singular nature. As the image indicates, Euphrates, the mouth, promotes a two-way dialogue with the self or the Godhead. Nourishment goes in to the ego, and nourishment goes out to God via prayers. Furthermore, this Euphrates water is described as the water above the firmament, which is referred to in the first chapter of Genesis, where it is said that God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. The firmament is the heavenly vault, and the Euphrates water corresponds to celestial water which exists beyond the heavenly limit. It is also referred to as Christ's living water, mentioned in the book of John, in which Jesus meets the Samaritan woman at the well and says to her, If you only knew what God is offering and who it is that is saying to you, Give me a drink, you would have been the one to ask, and he would have given you living water. Here, Christ is identifying himself as the living water that the Gnostics equate with the Euphrates, and also with the water above the firmament. Jung remarks about this water. The wonderful water of the Euphrates has the property of the aqua doctrine, which perfects every nature in its individuality, and thus makes man whole too. It does this by giving him a kind of magnetic power by which he can attract and integrate that which belongs to him. This corresponds to the fact that when one is in touch with the self, the libido connection that is generated as the effect of locating the scattered fragments of one's identity that reside in the world. In daily encounters with people and events in the world, one can identify what belongs to oneself by noticing one's reactions. One values what belongs to oneself. One has an aha experience. Reading and going through the world with that awareness, one can constantly pick up things that belong to oneself, which corresponds to what Jung says about this water. It gives one a kind of magnetic power by which one can attract and integrate pieces of one's identity.